Hello, good evening, and welcome back to Talking to Town. I'm your host, Ed McCullough. Our guest for this segment, Alexis Andreas Cadman. She is the club photographer with the South Carolina Muscle Car Society. And Brett Cadman. Brett is the president of the South Carolina Muscle Car Society. They have a big event coming up. It is the Z28 Eliminator Cruise, and that is Tuesday, September 29th. Starts at 6 p.m. It starts at the Carriage Shop. That's 17 Buckingham Plantation Drive. That's right opposite the entrance to Moss Creek in Bluffton. Leaves there, goes to the island, circles around Coligny, goes back out, and ends up at Captain Woody's. Guys, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Ed. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's a pleasure to have you here. How long has the Muscle Car Society been in operation?
The South Carolina Muscle Car Society was started mid-April of 2009, so it's a brand new baby in its infancy, just as a response to get these classic cars, these slice of America on four wheels, out on the road.
Out on the road, but also get the... Is it accurate to refer to the folks who drive them as the fanatical individuals who drive them? Get them all together in a social situation, so they can, how shall we say, share their fanaticism with each other?
Most definitely, I definitely agree with that. You've got your two definitely separate classifications of owners of these cars. You're going to have your collector, who looks at this as nothing more as a box of really rare baseball cards, maybe a collection of comics, or a real estate transaction.
And then you're going to have your grease monkey who tears it apart. Is that a pejorative term, or you
grease monkey,
happily refer to each?
Oh yes,
you like it?
Yeah, gearheads. We're good to go. That's who we are.
Hey, so no age limit. You're a member of the club.
Indeed.
You're not just a member of the club, but you're the photographer.
Yes.
How did you start with the photography?
Well, my father does graphic designing, and he has cameras and stuff like that. But he actually gave me a camera, and he lets me experiment with it. And so I tried taking pictures of the cars, and he really liked it.
Yeah. You know what? Speaking of which, I'm going to hold one up. I'm going to ask Tess to turn to me. Yeah. We're getting a little bit of a sense of it. You took this photograph.
Yes, I did.
What kind of camera did you take this photograph with?
A Canon Rebel.
A Canon Rebel. Speaking of Rebel, you can't think about muscle... When you think about muscle cars, to put it in cultural context, why do I immediately think of James Dean and Rebel Without a Cause? And they drove a muscle car off a cliff, and the guy died. But you don't do that kind of thing. You guys are very...
No, we find that it's very difficult to come to your next cruise once you've driven your baby off the cliff. I would say probably since the 50s, ever since you had those rat rod movies with the hot rodders with the Nazi helmets, getting out there, running the poor little innocent family off the road. And
Marlon Brando and the Wild One.
Exactly.
That's kind of the milieu in which this whole thing sort of started.
Most definitely.
And then, tell me about your car. What's your car?
My car is a 1973 Cobra Jet convertible Mustang.
Convertible Mustang?
Mm-hmm.
Convertible Mustang, and tell me about, when you say muscle, does that imply that you've, how shall we say, built up the muscle, or is it as it came out of the factory?
Well, it is numbers matching, which means that it does have the same motor, it has the same transmission, and it has the same overall drivetrain that it comes out of the factory with. Of course, I've beefed it up a little over the years, just to get a little oomph, less economy, more go, as you'd say.
Yeah.
But you will have, different kind of muscle that will come from the factory just, pushing out 500, 600 horsepower. They had some behemoths of the muscle car era that, if you have one of those cars now, they're probably a $150,000, $250,000 collector piece. And sure, that's understandable if you don't want to take that on the road. But most of these cars came with, a pretty beefy powertrain from the get-go. And to push it to the next performance level really wasn't that difficult. If you could turn a wrench, you could bolt on 50 horsepower in a weekend and it'd be a lot of fun. Very
You refer
healthy,
to
yes.
them, they're muscle and they're very masculine
Yes.
and they got all that power and you tinker with the engine, but
but-
you refer to the car as she.
Exactly.
And you all wear black T-shirts and you all have like large biceps?
Just, I would say over 2/3 of us. Over 2/3 of us are, right on steroids and sniffing nitrous. It's great.
And
No.
you bring your daughter to these rallies.
Oh, well, yeah, well, she's.
You enjoy. Are you pumped up?
She's
I'm
pumping,
looking
too.
at your arm. You got peace signs and hearts on your shirt. You're not presenting like the muscle
Oh,
pumping
no, she's a
image
nice
to me.
counterpoint. She's a nice counterpoint to the whole organization.
And speaking of counterpoint, I mean, okay, we got the stereotype of the guy, with the big bicep and the T-shirt and maybe a pack of Marlboros rolled up into the sleeve, what have you.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact of the matter is, your society, by virtue of your daughter being here with us today, everybody's welcome.
Exactly. And
However, not my '86 Volkswagen pop-top camper bus.
you bring out that pop-top
I'm going to get hurt.
No. You bring it out. We'll, start a little bonfire, roast some s'mores, and we'll show you what American muscle looks
Hey,
like.
she's got the peace sign. She would like it.
Oh yeah, definitely,
You know?
definitely.
Little diversity.
Everybody's invited to come out. The folks that we have in the club are just very approachable. They want to share the wealth of this slice of Americana with everybody, And ever since we've started, we've had a lot of members just break down and buy muscle cars, which is really cool,
Now, another thing about muscle cars, must they make a lot of noise? Will we hear you guys coming?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, you know about that. Do you wear earplugs or earmuffs or something, or you just go out there and get your inner ear vibrated dramatically?
I don't wear earplugs. I'm used to it.
You are. You like it?
Yeah.
You like the noise? What about the exhaust? These are very, how shall I say, green vehicles?
Well, my car's actually a dark green metallic. It's a
No,
lovely
I'm
color.
talking from an
I know.
environmental
That's
perspective.
about as green as it gets.
Did any of the guys think about taking advantage of the Cash for Clunkers program?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
It's almost
No.
anti-American.
That is, yeah. That's a whole nother debate, and that would probably take another half an hour. But some of us are pretty adamant about the Cash for Clunkers and where it should not go.
So now, besides the rallies,
Mm-hmm.
other events, do you have meetings, or is it pretty much monthly rallies and get
Well,
together, bring out the cars?
You've got your car clubs on the island that have their meets. You bust out the lawn chair, you sit down, you put up the little placard next to your car, and you say, "This is my car. This is how many they made, and that's that." We're a driving society. We get out on the road, and we take these cars and let the four barrels open. Just kind of do what they were made for. A lot of people that would take one of these beautiful, like for instance, like a 1971 Hemi Cuda. You've got a 426 Hemi pushing 426 horsepower, 490 foot-pounds of torque.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
It's a lot of go. It's a lot of go. You'd have one of these guys that would have one of these cars and just put it in a trailer, put it in a garage, put some mothballs in it, and then bring it out to a classic show every now and then, but never know what it sounded like. You guys
are much more experiential, operational. You get out there, you get
Yes,
in them, you
we
drive
are
them, you make noise, you have rallies, and we're out of time and we have to go.
Well, it was a pleasure. Thank you for having
It's a
us.
pleasure.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming, Alexis, and thanks for bringing these beautiful photographs. Are these popped on the website? People
These
can
are
go
all
to
on
the
the
website,
website. You can
and
visit
see
us.
the photographs.
Yeah.
I got
And,
to. You should sell the cars. Look so beautiful. You should sell them to the owners of the cars. You could make a lot of money.
what do you think about that?
Yeah, it's just an idea, but we have to go. We have been speaking with Alexis Andreas Cadman. She is the club photographer with the South Carolina Muscle Car Society, and Brett Cadman, he is the president of the South Carolina Muscle Car Society. They have a big event coming up. It is the Z28 Eliminate Tour. That is a cruise, and it's Tuesday, September 29th, 6 p.m. It starts at the Carriage Shop, 17 Buckingham Landing, opposite the entrance to Moss Creek, goes to the island, runs around Coligny, comes back, and ends at Captain Woody's in the promenade in historic downtown Bluffton. I'm Ed McCullough. This is Talk of the Town. Thanks for being with us.